First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I just wanted to pull that up there. There's a live shot of downtown Portland, and I got to say, it's looking pretty nice out there. With some of the rain that we've been having, it's good to see that happening, and I appreciate all of you joining us here today. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler, and thank you for being here. We live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. Pacific. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on our website and our apps. So a lot of different options there for you to join us, and we are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. So appreciate it. I know I always say it a lot, but I really do mean that. So let's get on to talking about what we're bringing up here today for this segment. We're talking about the Dougy Center partnering with Sesame Workshop. Now, the Dougy Center you are probably aware of, but we're going to give you just a little bit of a broader definition coming up. But they've been helping children and people going through grieving for many years here in the Portland area. And this partnership is huge to further their ability to bring that help to a lot of different people. But to join right now, we have the experts here with us. And so I've got Brennan, who's Executive Director. And then we also have Cristina, Chipriano, who is the Director of Equity and Community Outreach and the Esperanza program. Wanted to make sure I got that all in there. For both of you, thank you very much, for joining us. Really, really appreciate your time. And we're going to get into all of this partnership a little bit more here in a second. But I thought, Brennan, maybe you could just give everybody, once again, just an explainer and overview of the Dougy Center and all the work that you do.
Sure, I'm happy to, Greg. Thanks for having us on today. So Dougy Center is a safe place where we provide grief support for children, teens, young adults, and their adult family members before and after a death. So we really bring kids and families together when they're going through the hardest of hard things so that they can get support, get resources, find community. And Dougy Center was founded 42 years ago now here in Portland, but it is a world-renowned model that has spread all over the world. And Dougy Center is really seen as the gold standard in bereavement support and care for children and families.
I mean, it really is. I think that is just such a testament to it, too. The expansion of that to so many different places being seen as that. And that's because you have such a comprehensive way that you do care for people going through, really difficult situations that nobody, that it's hard for anyone, no matter who you are, regardless, when you put it into the context of a child going through that, I mean, that's just even worse. So the work is really amazing that you do. And part of this now, this announcement of this partnership is partnering with Sesame Workshop, which is huge to bring that to more people. And can you talk about what that partnership is?
Sure. So Sesame Workshop, through their Sesame Street in Communities program, they have done a tremendous job of bringing resources for the youngest kids into homes that are catered towards really difficult subject matter. And they've just done a beautiful job of this over the last couple of decades. And actually, for the last 14 years, Dougy Center has supported Sesame Workshop's effort to bring grief support and resources to kids and their families, so that parents also have the resources and tools they need to talk to the youngest kids about loss and grief. And certainly when Sesame Workshop approached us 14 years ago to start this partnership, we were honored. We, of course, as everybody does, love Sesame Street and all that they're doing. And they've created over the years some really beautiful resources for kids and families that are grieving. And this latest project has been just a wonderful next step in this partnership, and they've leaned on a handful of experts to support this effort, and Dougy Center was one of those experts that they came to.
I mean, I think that's great. Again, a testimony to Dougy Center. The partnership has been around, for this long, that you've been working with them, but bringing these new resources and new ways to interact with and engage with children going through the grieving process. This is a big step. And could we talk about that a little bit more and explain what this project is?
Yeah, I'm going to actually let Cristina chime in here, since she was the Dougy Center staff person who actually worked on these resources, so she can tell you a little bit more about them.
Thank you, Brennan, and honored to be here today. So a little bit about what Sesame Street has created, and Sesame Street and Community and the Sesame Workshop is a two-part series. So the first part was launched in November that was geared towards our kids and our preschoolers who had had somebody die in their life. And it focused on bringing in 3 new videos, some worksheets. And now the new resource that is caregiver centric. So it's forward facing for the adult in the preschooler's life. And it includes just a series of videos, including the experts that Brennan mentioned and families who have had kids who were of preschool age when their person died. And so they just share more tips and tricks in terms of just validating what the grief experience is for the adult in the child's life, which is a beautiful complement to being able to support our youngest grievers.
And how important is that for an adult who's going through that process, having to explain to a child what's happening, to have that kind of impact and feedback from another adult who's gone through that previously?
Tremendously important. I think truly what we know is that the best thing a caregiver can do is model a healthy style of grieving, right? And so what does that mean? It means being able to talk to their kids about what they're experiencing, to be able to show how they're feeling, so that way the child can both mirror and be able to be given the okay to talk about what's going on. So hearing from other adults who share, how do you bring the child into the conversation? How do you have the conversation? But truly, how do you take care of yourself and your own grief while navigating the grief of your child? No one has a handbook on how to do this. It's just helpful to hear from others who have just walked a similar journey in their life.
Right. And I mean, and it's not something that anyone ever wants to have to think about, but obviously it's part of life and this does happen. And so having a resource like this is just incredibly valuable, I would imagine, for anybody who finds themselves in this situation. And that seems like that's, what you've been doing for so long with this.
Yeah, Greg, I would say, one of the things that Dougy Center really focuses on is, of course, providing in-person support to kids and families here in the greater Portland metropolitan region. But we've also been looked to for all of our resources. So, our website has hundreds of free resources to support kids, from 3 all the way up to 18, so teens, and then young adults and adult family members, because as Cristina mentioned, what we know is that adults need resources and support too. And, when you look at kids and long-term resiliency, right? Because I know it's a buzzword, but we certainly want to support that in kids and families. And kids who've had somebody die in childhood have statistically significant higher levels of things that we as a community, as a world, want to help support so that we have better outcomes long term. And what Dougy Center really wants is to help create a more grief-informed society, community, and world. And so being grief informed is really, really important to us, and sharing that message. And we are so grateful to be able to do this in all different ways, through our in-person peer support program, through our resources, through our trainings. We have a podcast. And again, we have resources for all ages of folks. And certainly this new collection of resources through Sesame Workshop is an extension of that. And it's an important piece of what Dougy Center does, is really letting folks know that grief in and of itself is a natural, normal, healthy response to loss of any kind. There's nothing wrong with you if you're grieving. However, kids aren't grieving in a vacuum, right? They need support, they need community, they need to know that it's okay to grieve, right? It's okay to have big emotions. We can be angry, but it's not okay to punch your little brother. And so how do we help support kids to learn the tools that they need to navigate this experience, this natural, normal experience of loss and grief, in the most healthy way that we can? And again, to really help long-term outcomes. Dougy Center is a preventative model, and kids and families who come to Dougy Center really get a tremendous amount of support and care. And I'll just add one more thing, Greg, which is, a lot of times people think, well, this isn't as prevalent, and it really is. Pre-COVID numbers, 1 in 12 kids in the United States would have a parent or a sibling die before they turned 18. And that number almost, or it doubles by the time you turn 25. And so that doesn't even account for, we're just starting to see the impact of the millions of people worldwide, but certainly this about 375,000 kids who had a caregiver or a parent die of COVID-19 in those statistics. And so it's critical that we as a community, as a nation, as a world, really come together to support kids and families that have experienced a death.
Well, I mean, and that's just tremendous hearing those numbers too. And I want to, emphasize to everybody out there who's watching this, who maybe is going through something like this, or down the line, this could happen, how they can interact and engage with Dougy Center, because it is there for everybody. And you mentioned there's the website and you do have the facilities, but just to really give everybody a good idea of that, how is that they can engage with the Dougy Center and take advantage of some of these resources?
Yeah, if you're in the greater Portland metropolitan region, you can hop online, but you can also give us a call Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We have our incredible program staff, which Cristina is a member of, that can really provide support and guidance in the immediate aftermath of a death. We get tens of thousands of phone calls a year to support folks in that way. And then we have our in-person peer support program, and you can pick up the phone or you can hop online to find out more about that, or email us at help@dougy.org. And our website is dougy.org. I think it's really important that families know that there are resources out there. There is support.
And absolutely, and that's what you've been doing for so long and doing so well. And this new partnership, I guess, Cristina, I just have one last question for you too. Spearheading this and being involved in this new resource and project, how does that feel for you to be able to bring that to people and have that kind of an impact on everybody?
Yeah, I think ultimately my goal in this work, right, is for us to ensure that every child who has someone die in their life has somebody in their life who can support them. And so whether that is being able to come to Dougy Center or accessing our resources, having something like this through Sesame Workshop allows us to provide that hopefully for more kids to come. So let us continue becoming these grief-informed societies so that no child truly has to grieve by themselves without having the support of someone nearby that understands and can validate their experience.
And help them navigate through all those different feelings and everything that happens with that. Well, Brennan and Cristina, thank you very much, both of you, for joining. If there was anything else you wanted to add too, please feel free. Just really appreciate both of you being here.
I would just say for those folks in the Portland area that want to support Dougy Center, we're always looking for volunteers. We need a volunteer base that helps us support kids and families. And of course, we are a small nonprofit, and we provide everything to families at no cost. So our families, typically about a third of our families are living at or below the federal poverty level, and most of our families self-report financial insecurity or instability after the death. So we just always need a lot of support from the community, which this community so graciously comes together to provide. And if you're interested in learning more about any of that, just hop online.
Hop onto that website, yeah, and help out. Well, thank you both for joining me. Really appreciate you being here for Fox 12 Now and all the amazing work that you do helping everybody out. So thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Greg. Really appreciate being here.
All right, and for everybody who's tuning in too, this is Fox 12 Now. So again, thank you for joining us, and we do cover, like I said, a wide range of topics and segments. So we are here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, and we broadcast throughout the afternoon. So anytime between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. outside of our other newscasts. This is also the place to go for breaking news. So if breaking news does happen, wherever you're watching me right now, this is where I'll be bringing you that news as it happens. I do recommend downloading the app. That's probably one of the best ways to watch us, the Fox 12 Oregon app on whatever platform you're on, or KPTV.com, or Facebook and YouTube as well. We'll be back at 1:30 p.m. with some more for you, but we'll sign off for right now. Talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.